Welcome to a brand new episode of the Post Game. I'm your host, Davion, joined by Lillian
What's up?
and Oronde.
What's popping?
And today we are back with a new series on the channel. We're gonna call it our top five slash top 10 series. We're gonna give our top. We're gonna go through every single uh NFL position. Well, not every single one of them, but a lot of them. We're gonna do quarterbacks, wide receivers, running backs, safeties, cornerbacks, whatever the case may be. We're gonna go through all those tight ends, and we're gonna give our top five or top tens. And today we're starting off with the most important position to ever play the game, the quarterback. So we're gonna give our top five a piece. Um, but first, before I say that, let us know how you feel about this series in the comments. Let us know what kind of videos you want us to do in the comments because the season's over. Now we're trying to figure out what's next. Like what do we do next? Because it's gonna get a little boring. Not gonna lie to you, but let us know what kind of series you want in the comments and look forward to those. Look forward to reading your comments and all those things. So first off, number one quarterback in the NFL. I think it's a unanimous vote. Patrick Mahomes, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
Wait.
Number
We
two.
should
Oh,
specify we're not including injuries in this.
oh, we are. We
Oh, we
are
are?
including injuries. Yes, we are.
Oh, okay. Okay
Yeah,
then.
we are including injuries. I know Joe Burrow and some of those other guys, Justin Herbert, all those guys were out, but we're going to include them just because of next year. So get ready. So number two, I think it's pretty close to being unanimous. I think Lamar Jackson,
Yeah. I got Lamar.
MVP, has to be, has to be,
Oronde,
has to be.
what are you
He's like he's like Mac Jones.
Uh, Mac
Bailey's
Jones
happy?
is bottom three. Um, we are including injuries.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I think you're thinking of the next number. In my opinion, number three guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I got Joe Burr at number
And
two.
see, I got Joe at three.
All right,
Uh,
see. That's the thing. I got Josh Allen at 3.
Ooh,
mm,
let's talk about it. So let's look at those three. Let's look at Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, and Lamar Jackson. So we have a Super Bowl leading quarterback in Joe Burrow. We have a two times MVP in Lamar. Then we have Josh Allen. The harsh reality, who will probably end up being number four in my who's number four in my opinion. I think Lamar Jackson has shown that he is an unstoppable force when he is put into the right positions, when he has given a team around him, like this season, getting into the AFC Championship game, winning the MVP, which I don't think many people expected at all. He's had an outstanding season. And the only reason Patrick Mahomes is on a planet of his own because he has those things that no one else has, rings. And so, well, and other things, but we're not going to go into that. And so that's why I think Lamar is number two.
I got Joe ahead of Lamar.
Why?
I'm I'm not gonna lie. I'm more biased to
You're
to
partial,
Joe.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm more impartial to it. But I Lamar's shortcomings when it comes to decision making is what really hurts my opinion of him. But he has the talent to make up for such lack. But I
Mm-hmm.
still put Joe Burrow ahead of him. But it's not a huge gap. I mean, I can understand it's pretty interchangeable to me, but I got
Mm-hmm.
Burrow ahead.
I did consider dropping Lamar a spot just because he in the AFC championship, it almost felt like he wanted to prove that he wasn't just a runner. And so he tried to make passes that he couldn't make. Well, not that he can't physically make, but passes that weren't there. So I think his decision making can be questionable at times, but I still think, I mean, 2 MVPs still got to the AFC Championship game. That in itself is an accomplishment. That's finishing in the top 4 teams. That's why I would put him there. And also just I wouldn't put Joe Burrow that high just because of injuries.
I agree. I'm gonna go back to my list. Number one, Patrick. Number two, Lamar. Number three, Joe Burrow. Number four, Josh Allen.
Okay.
Who's our number five? I got a name.
I also have a
I,
name.
I haven't even said my number four.
Who's your number
My
four?
four is
Well, because
Burrow.
it would have to be one of those three. So it had to be Lamar or or Josh?
I don't really
We have
like
the-
Unless
Josh
it's
like that.
not.
We have the same 1 through 4, right?
No,
But not in the same order, just in different order
no,
positions.
I don't
Who's your
have
number
Josh at
4?
4. Josh is 5.
Who's
Who's your
4?
4?
Dak.
He's Dak. So I don't hate that. I think Dak had an outstanding season this year. Probably one of the best seasons he's had in his career. Um,
I might be
I
a
was gonna.
Dak hater, but I do appreciate his talents.
Well, I'm a Dak hater too. I hate the Cowboys, period.
I'm
And
also
so,
a Dak hater.
I'm also a
um,
Josh Allen hater, so that doesn't help.
see, see, no.
I'm not looking at this purely objectively. I'm gonna
Oh,
be so
see,
for
I
real.
am, bro. So I'm gonna sit here and say this. I'm not gonna lie to you. For troll purposes and for ability purposes, I put Brock Purdy at 5.
Of course you did. Of
I
course you
mean,
did.
to me, he
I
played an
got CJ
MVP.
Stroud over Brock Purdy.
Hold on. He played an MVP caliber season.
No, he did
He-
not.
Stop. He was in the
He
MVP race
didn't.
for a large amount
He
of time.
could be
For
in the
one,
race like Joel Embiid, but he's not the best player.
stop.
Not
I
even
don't
on his
think Joel
team.
Embiid's the right comparison there.
Yeah, I know. Here's the
Sorry,
thing.
but
So
it's the
we
first
got
person that came to mind.
Brock Purdy led his team to a Super Bowl. Without Brock, I don't think this team gets that far.
Led is pretty loose there.
Well, I
I
mean,
mean,
without Brock,
but
it's
I
Sam
respect your
Darnold, so
opinion.
there's a drop off.
there's a drop off without Brock. We've seen Colin Kaepernick fail. We've seen um, Sam Darnold fail. We've seen Trey Lance fail. We've seen Jimmy Garoppolo fail. But Brock Purdy doesn't fail. Brock Purdy got him to the pinnacle, to the peak.
I would
Granted,
almost say Brock Purdy failed just as much as Jimmy Garoppolo failed.
Yeah, the
I
failure is
disagree.
even right now.
No, I mean, but you can blame that Super
They're
Bowl
the
on
same
Jimmy.
player anyways.
You can't blame this Super Bowl on Brock.
I didn't say I blamed Brock
I'm
for
just
Blame
that.
him,
saying.
but
I blamed
I'm just,
their lack of explosive abilities, but in scheme play, regardless, Brock is still not an
I
MVP
don't think he's a
caliber
top 5
person.
quarterback.
Neither a top 5 quarterback.
when I look at quarterback and top 5 and top rankings, who is the most important piece? One of the most important pieces on their team. I think Brock Purdy is. I think
I
that
don't
team
think he's
lives and
top
dies
3
by.
most important on
But
that
here's the
team.
thing, I
He's
think they.
not
But I
top
don't. I'm
3
not
either.
talking about like ability. I'm talking about more. Who is the most valuable player to the team? Brock
Not
Purdy
Brock.
is. Like besides Christian McCaffrey, I think Brock Purdy
If
is.
you have to say besides, that already opens the
Okay,
door
but
in your argument.
McCaffrey could have arguably been the MVP this season, right?
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think
That already breaks him off from being the most valuable person on the
I
team.
mean, take out Fred Warner, and that defense suffers a lot too.
I'm not. Listen, I'm
We
not.
already lost Greenlaw, and that proved part of that.
I'm not gonna interchange offense and defense. I'm just not. Like
Look,
it just to me, it just doesn't make sense.
I mean,
if we're
then take
gonna
out Trent Williams. You know, they lose their left tackle, and Brock Purdy's gonna look like shit.
listen, if you're gonna do that, I might as well be like, oh, since Baker carried the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who haven't been there since Brady, the only person besides Brady, I
the
can say
team that
he's
they
top
had.
5. Look at it.
Whatever.
Oh, now you want to make it the team. Come on, brother. Don't do this.
All right, number 6.
Brock Purdy top 5 feels like engagement bait, but
Number 6.
my 5th guy, I'm
yeah.
putting CJ Stroud up there.
I got CJ at 6.
I got CJ at 6 as well. I like CJ a lot. We all know that I like CJ.
Big
a lot.
CJ fan.
Stroud's
I watched him
gonna
in
be a great
college.
quarterback.
Part of him coming out of high school too. Big CJ guy.
I mean, coming out of college, I hated CJ just because he went to Ohio State. But man,
Not me though.
he's a real likable guy. And he's a
Love his
amazing
personality.
quarterback.
He's
just
bullying
outstanding.
Micah Parsons recently too, so that made it even
I
better.
saw that. Put him in a
Well,
body
they're
bag,
going
didn't he?
band for band about which state had the best players.
Band for band, bro.
Put him in a body bag too. Lordy, got things you love to see. Cowboys people lose. So at number 7, I have Jared Goff.
That is also where I have Jared Goff.
Lots of head nods.
I agree.
I guess I didn't. My system not too bad.
Unanimous.
Oh, I should
You're here?
specify. I do have Dak at 6.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yep, I got him there too. At 8, I have these two to me are very interchangeable: Trevor Lawrence and Justin Herbert.
Yes.
I don't have Trevor Lawrence anywhere near that high.
I don't have Trevor Lawrence that high either.
Huh?
I think
But
he had a
Herbert,
rough year.
Herbert, yes.
What would you wait? What would you say about Trevor?
I said I think he had a rough year.
I think that team had a rough year completely.
I
I
have
think they're a little bit lost right now.
I have Trevor at 10.
Huh?
Lower than that. I have Herbert at 7 though.
Yeah.
Okay.
Herbert 7.
So who's 8? Who's 8, 9, and 10 for y'all?
Lily, you can go first.
I got Stafford at 8. Then I
Ooh.
got
Ooh.
I got Kirk Cousins at 9.
Ooh.
And then at 10 I got Jalen Hurts.
Ooh. I want Tua before Jalen Hurts.
I don't want
Personally.
Tua
I
at
got
all.
I got Stafford and Tua. Hurts is a lot at 11.
I got Hurts farther down.
I was like,
I like.
the thing
I think
about Hurts
Staff.
for me
Yeah.
is I hate anybody that will ever try to compare his rushing touchdown record to Cam Newton's season, just because like realistically,
has-
Jalen Hurts had a couple of good runs. That man was tush push merchant. I don't
Yeah.
think he's a bad quarterback though.
I don't think he's bad, but he has a very low ceiling to me.
He does.
He
I
has
think
he
he has
has
a
some,
high floor. Though.
obviously he has I mean he has some amazing performances, but the scheme has fell apart. He's been exposed.
I will say I'd almost be willing to interchange him with somebody like Brock Purdy or Jordan Love.
In my head, because my list has been forming as we've been going, I got Love at 13, I think. 13 to 14. Just above the league average.
So looking at these our lists, I think Stafford to me is a player that arguably you can say he's underrated. Arguably, I think
throughout his career he definitely is.
Oh, throughout his career, he's definitely one of the most underrated quarterbacks to ever play the game. But I think right now, I think we still don't understand the magnitude in which he takes teams. Obviously, he went and led his team to a Super Bowl and winning when he got to the Rams in the first year. Granted, that team was stacked from top to bottom, but that is what it is. But I mean, not many people expected them to be as good, and not many people expected their offense to be that good this season. But Stafford came out and Stafford and Sean McVay came out and found Puka Nacua, found Kyron Williams, found these guys and established a pretty incredible offense. And I would say the same. I would say It's funny. Stafford and Jared Goff are literally the same quarterback. They're the same people. I think they both excel offenses. Goff did that in Detroit this season. They're both very safe with the football. They don't put it into harm's way. They don't fumble. They don't throw many picks.
Well, Stafford can make some rough decisions because
Absolutely.
and part of that's because he's one of like 3 guys left that's from that fuck it we ball era where they just went out slinging
Stafford still got a little bit of that Brett Favre.
it. Him, Flacco, and Rogers, where they'll throw anything and they'll make it work.
Yeah.
Except Flacco's definitely not on that same tier.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Where do y'all have Russell Wilson?
He's in the middle of the pack for me, maybe 15.
He went from a simmer to cooking a little bit, turn up the heat a little bit.
I
Also,
like.
screw the Broncos for fucking with him like that.
Well, okay, I'm not gonna sit there and take that. I think the Broncos did. They At the end of the day, the NFL is a business. They knew they weren't going to
It's a
go anywhere.
business, but you can't.
They knew they weren't going to go anywhere. They wanted to make sure they didn't have to spend an extra $36 million on Stafford this offseason. So it's me, you're sitting down. Like we need to try to expand and build on next season and the year after. So I get it. I think the way they handled it was pretty questionable.
Questionable is an
But
understatement, and it's not like his
he was dealing. He
contract
definitely was
is
dealing. To me, he's
crazy.
in the middle of the road. He's probably 16.
My thing with Russ is outside of, how the whole contract situation went on the field, he especially, more recently has the tendency to play about half of a good season, whether that's the
Yeah.
first half or the second half.
Hmm.
He'll play a really good half of a season, and that other half, you better hope and pray something good happens. You better hope you have a top 5 running back or a top 5 defense, because he's not gonna win you 12, 13 games anymore.
Yeah. I definitely think we're at a point where there's a lot of teams. There's a lot of the old gen quarterbacks that are very, very close to leaving. Like Russ, Golf is pretty close. Rogers is probably on his way out.
Did you say golf?
I think Golf's pretty close. I think he's probably 2 to 4 more seasons realistically.
I think he's got 4 or 5. I mean, he's a 2016 first round pick. I wouldn't put him in that same
Oh yeah.
era.
Wait, what year is it?
It's
Uh,
2024.
so
It's been
8 years
eight
in the league.
years, which
I
is
mean, and because he's not a guy, right, that's running all over the place. He's not a guy who relies on his
he gets
athleticism.
he gets some extra credit for longevity because he plays it pretty safe and
As long
he
as he doesn't,
wasn't too
as long as his
heavily
arm doesn't
sacked.
turn into a noodle, he'll be okay.
Yeah, he's definitely
Yeah,
a very
yeah, yeah.
conservative player though. So, which isn't a slight whatsoever. Um, yeah, I don't
But like
know. There's a lot of
Russ
guys all over the place.
Rogers, Stafford's probably going to be on his way out soon.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah. I
I
think
doubt
Stafford has
Flacco
a
comes
couple more.
back next year.
Flacco's back to being a backup, probably.
Maybe just back it up.
Derek
Yeah.
Carr is getting pretty old.
Well, I
Derek
think
Carr
after that season with the Saints, he's going to be done. No one's going to want to touch him with 6 foot
Derek
pole.
Carr is getting
Yeah.
hounded by the Saints to go back home.
I
Yeah,
mean, other than that,
please.
though, everybody is pretty young. Though Dak's
Yeah.
getting up there. I think he's like 30.
You know, Dak. I
And
think Dak still has
Dak
6
probably
more.
lost a season or two because of his injury.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, any final thoughts before you wrap this up?
Um, I know in the comments somebody's going to come at me for Josh Allen. I still don't like him. I'll give him his props, but I still don't
Oh,
like him.
Bills fans. Oh, Bills fans.
Y'all
Man,
know
Bills
me.
fans,
Meet me in the
They're
comments.
mean. Meet me in the comments.
they like to talk.
They do like to talk and lose. Anyway, appreciate y'all for watching the video. Let us know how you feel in the comments. Let us know where you put Josh Allen and all the others. But yeah, Lillian, Oronde, appreciate y'all for joining. I'll be your host, Davion. This has been the post game. Peace.
Peace.